Good Sunday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. Here's a look at your tropics updates on September 29th, 2024 as of the 7 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. We're looking at two named storms out in the Atlantic Basin. We have Hurricane Isaac and Tropical Storm Joyce. These systems not expecting to impact the U.S. or Texas. Joyce is expected to weaken into a tropical depression. Eventually Isaac weakening into a depression heading off towards Europe. So not impacting the U.S., but we're also keeping an eye on that area of concern behind Joyce. The 70% chance of development within the next 7 days, and just a wave off the coast of Africa, a 20% chance. That's the new thing that the National Hurricane Center has just released as of the 7 a.m. advisory. So also, any storm that usually forms in this region usually stays over open water, but our main concern is what's expected to occur in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. They're still keeping that as a 50% chance of development within the next 7 days. We do not have a organized low yet. We're waiting for that to happen. That very could well happen during the middle of this week. But just keep in mind, lots of uncertainty with this system in terms of storm intensity as well as location impact. So we're keeping a close eye on this. Weather models not really in agreement on where this system could be headed or how strong it could be. So we're waiting for that organized low to become more organized before we have a better tell of where this system might be headed. And this is all a part of that Central American gyre. That's that area of low pressure in the Caribbean that forms in the early spring and early fall season, and it usually spits out these disturbances like we saw with Helene. That ultimately became a Category 4 hurricane that went into Florida. So as we look at that potential tropical development between the October 1st and 5th, and so everybody along the Gulf of Mexico should really keep an eye on the tropics and pay attention to the forecast at least once or twice a day as we go into the next 7 days. Ocean temperatures are also fairly warm. It only takes the temperature 85 or higher to fuel those tropical systems, and we're seeing upper 80-degree temperatures across the Gulf of Mexico. Even the Atlantic Ocean dealing with some warm temperatures, upper 80s out in the western Atlantic, and then seeing 84 degrees out in the middle of the Atlantic there. But so just to wrap it all up, we are in the busy part of hurricane season. We're watching the Caribbean and Gulf really closely, and so just keep in mind, still a lot of uncertainty in terms of intensity and location impacts. And even though that we're past that peak date of hurricane season, we're still expecting that busy period to last at least through the first half of October. If there is another named system, the next name on the list will be Kirk. And as always, you can get the latest updates on KHOU.com as well as on the KHOU 11 app. Again, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your Tropics Update.